Okay, right. So, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening to all of you. It is exactly 8:30 p.m. in India, the time that we announced that this webinar will be live. I'm so happy to see there are so many attendees who have joined this program. And as I told you, being a webinar, it will not be interactive like a class. However, we will give you opportunity to address your concerns or questions, and definitely I will answer to that because webinar has got certain restrictions, right? So why we have met today is just to give you a kind of introduction or little bit of understanding about what is the importance of leadership in health and safety. When we talk about leadership, it is not something which is you get by birth. It is something which you develop in a due course by learning, by acquiring the skills. You know, one of the biggest scarcity we feel in the field of HSE is lack of leadership. People come to leadership role without any leadership qualities. People attain leadership role without leadership qualities. This is one of the greatest problem faced by the HSE industry across the world today. Why? What is the problem in this? Maybe lack of competency, lack of knowledge. There are plenty of certifications available in the market which you can purchase by giving money without knowledge. Lack of communication skill, lack of confidence, lack of commitment. There are so many issues. So we are going to address this issue. I have given my services to more than 250 corporate clients spanning across India, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bangladesh, and some countries in Africa. Wherever I go, I interact with the leaders, interact with the top management. And the one most famous issue which I come to know is the HSE managers are not competent to advise the management the right way they should have done it. That is, there is a gap of leadership quality. So that is where this course becomes so important for all those people who are already in the leadership role in HSE or aspiring to be a future HSE leader. You know, leadership just doesn't come like that. It has to be acquired through a lot of skills, practice, and competency. So this course, I found it to be the best program available in the market. The Nebosh HSE, you know, the two prominent bodies in health and safety in the world. One is Nebosh. I don't need to give you any introduction about Nebosh. The other one is HSE, HSE UK. So they have joined together and framed this program called Health and Safety Leadership Excellence. If you are already a HSE leader facing so many issues to convince the management, to convince the people below you, above you, then this is the right program for you. If you are an aspiring leader, you have a goal, you have an ambition, or you have an objective in life to be a leader future, again, this is the best program for you, aligning you, empowering you to become a future HSE leader. So that is why I took an interest to conduct this webinar today. Welcome, all of you. I am so happy to see so many people have joined in today's webinar. That shows your confidence in Safety Catch, that we will definitely deliver some value to your time. And I will maximum keep this webinar for 30 minutes. I will not take more than that. I know you people are very busy, professionals. Your time is much, much important. So I'll keep it maximum to 30 minutes. And I'm sorry, some of you are raising your hands, but this is not a class. This is a webinar. We cannot interact in the webinar. Towards the end of the webinar, I'll take your questions, or maybe I'll share my WhatsApp to take your questions. Thank you very much. So going ahead, once again, thanking all of you for joining this webinar. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so, energized to see so much of participation today, responding to our, post that we are going to deliver this. Thank you very much. So myself, I think most of you know me. My name is Anil Gopinath. I only have 33 years of experience in this field of OHS. I just use the word only because OHS is such a field, even if you live 100 years, you can't complete this knowledge gaining exercise. In 33 years, if you consider OHS to be an ocean, I would say I've had just a glass of water from that. I'm still striving to cope up with the new dimensions, new improvements in safety. That's why I said I just have only 33 years experience. And my LinkedIn profile is there. If you want to dig deep into my qualifications, my experiences, etc., you can just see my LinkedIn profile. I'm there in the LinkedIn, Anil Gopinath. Coming to the organization about Safety Catch, some of you might have been already a student, already a learner, because we have covered more than 25,000 learners. So wherever we go, we find somebody is trained from Safety Catch. At the leadership level, at managerial level, I'm so happy to tell you that. So Safety Catch is not just another training institute. It is an organization which was started up with a vision. We have a clear vision, we have a clear goal, we have a clear objective. It's my ambition, my vision, which transformed into this organization. The vision was very simple: to develop outstanding safety professionals and contribute to humanity to save human lives. So there is no shortcut to success. We believe there is absolutely no shortcut to success. We have come across with certain vision. That is why we are still alive. 15 years, we are still alive because our vision is very strong. Our commitment is very strong. We are accredited by major awarding bodies like Nebosh, IOSH, British Safety Council, etc., etc. We have done audits for more than 150 sites. We have provided HSE training and consultancy services to more than 200 corporate clients. And we have now trained almost 25,000. We are reaching. We just update every 10,000. So when we reach 30,000, we will update this. And we have operations across the globe, at least in 4 countries. So if you look at our accreditations, these are our accreditations, which are familiar to all of you. I don't need to explain you anything about that. And we operate in occupational health and safety. And recently we started in ESG. You all know what is ESG. And industrial training, academic training like Nebosh, IOSH, OSHAs and all that, placements to our people. So just to introduce you about us, few of our corporate clients you can see here. We are so proud that we are dealing. None of these clients have left us. Once they have engaged us, they are re-engaging us. And so we are so very happy to showcase them. These are again few of the other corporate clients. Right. Coming to today's topic, why leadership is so important? Very simple. Everybody cannot be a leader. Please understand this. Every Tom, Dick and Harry cannot become a leader. To become a leader, you need to acquire certain qualities. You have to be competent. You have to be ruthless sometimes. Above everything I see to be a leader, what you need is courage. The courage to stand up in the time of crisis. The courage to tell what is right and what is wrong. The courage to tell no if it requires to tell no. You cannot be a meek person and be a leader as well. I'm telling it from my own experience. I have worked with some of the outstanding leaders in my career. I still remember at least 5 of them, from whom during my career I have imbibed the qualities of leadership. The most important quality I have seen in my role models, they are very courageous. They are not like, cowards. Leaders are courageous people. You should have courage to be a leader. How that courage will come? Courage will come only when you are competent. When you are competent in your job, when you are dedicated in your job, you get courage. You don't need to indulge in dirty politics. The system will identify you. If you are courageous, if you are competent, the system in which you work will identify you and promote you. And the system will not like to lose you. You will become a resource to the organization. The organization will support you in every aspect and promote you and take you to the level where you actually become a leader. You cannot become a leader by just, singing praise to your boss, just by taking yes sir, good sir from your subordinates. Leadership is something which everybody cannot achieve. Just look around the world. See how leaders are made. And look at this picture. I am purposely showing this picture because health and safety today completely depend on leadership. The occupational health and safety spectrum in this century is completely depending on leadership. The picture which you are seeing here is nothing but, all of you know this, ISO 45001 safety management system. Sorry. It is nothing but ISO 45001 safety management system, in which you can see at the center, at the core heart is leadership. Sorry. All other things. Okay, worker participation is there, which is not today's topic. So I am just aligning this with today's topic. Today's topic is why. Why leadership is so important. It is the core of the system. You can see, it's not Anil Gopinath telling you. ISO 45001 is clearly telling you leadership is something which is the core axis of the entire spectrum of occupational health and safety. And I told you, there is a crisis in the market. I have interacted with at least 100 corporate clients, and I have understood the management is, even though ready to invest in safety, they are not confident on the ability of the leaders. Or the safety leaders are not able to convince the management to invest. In my life, I have heard this crying, management is not cooperating. Management is not cooperating. There is no budget. See, even today, we are engaged in a consultancy for a corporate client. across India, I can see there is a commitment from the management, but the safety leadership is lacking in competence. This is the irony. I myself is a safety professional. I'm not just pointing fingers to anybody. I'm telling the truth. There are two scenarios. Scenario A, leadership is there in safety, but management is not willing to invest. This is scenario A. Scenario B, management is ready to support and invest, but safety doesn't have a leadership. If you take percentage, I will say 80-20. 80% is lack of leadership in safety, 20% lack of willpower from the management. I know some of you may disagree because of your experience, but this is what I have understood from my research. If you are a safety leader, how do you communicate? Are you worried about your job? Are you worried about your pay? If you have done some level 6 diploma by paying money, you will not be bold enough to talk to the management. Every webinar I tell this, people ask, sir, I can pay money. Just get me a level 6 diploma because there is a promotion. There is a, the other day one guy was telling me, sir, in my organization, there is a vacancy for a safety manager. I said, very good. And he said, they are asking for level 6 qualification. I don't have. I immediately want a level 6. I will pay money for that. I said, gentlemen, you're asking for a A4 size paper by paying money. A level 6 doesn't come like that. If you gotten a level 6 like that, you are not going to be a leader. Because your knowledge, what you are paying for, it is not that A4 size certificate, which is you are getting a level 6 or putting along with your name, nowadays Gradayosh, Sartayosh is any level 6 will get it. But what end of the day is your performance, your ability to perform as a leader, what matters, for which you need competence. Competence will come, courage will come only when you have knowledge. So invest in knowledge. That is where these type of programs are very important. Attend conferences. Think out of the box. You can never become a leader if you are inside the box. You have to always think out of the box. Leaders always think out of the box. If you are simply inside a box and running the system, you are a manager. You are not a leader. See, go on Google and see what is the difference between a leader and a manager. And some of the managers today are damagers. Identify yourself. Are you a leader? Are you a manager or you are a damager? These are the three type of people ruling HSE in today's world. Not only HSE. In every organization, you will find these three type of people. Some are leaders, some are managers, some are damagers. Where do you stand? You should identify. You don't blame. Human brain is such programmed that we try to find excuses. If I couldn't achieve something, I just try to find excuses so that I am happy. Oh, it's not my fault. The organization is not good. The management is not supporting. The workers are not cooperating. We can find 100 excuses for not achieving an objective. But the leader is a person who will achieve that objective, clearing all these 100 obstacles. That is where leadership is very, very important. And people say, sir, he was my junior. Today, he is my leader. Yes. And simply people say he was a buttering. Due to buttering, he got to a leader. Nothing like that. Just because of buttering, nobody becomes leader. If at all somebody becomes, they will flop. They will come back. They cannot sustain. Peoples are chosen to be leaders based on their qualities, their commitment, and their competency. Please understand. Courage, commitment, competence. 3C for a leader. This is what you need to imbibe. So safety is not just a policy. People start making policies, procedures, and systems. It's a leadership decision made every day. End of the day, whether your people go back safely depends on the decisions you people take in safety as leaders. If you take a wrong decision, somebody's life is at stake. Maybe your life is not lost, but your employee will be lost. Life will be lost. That is the importance of safety leadership. Leaders don't create followers. They create more leaders in safety. You don't need to keep followers. You don't need to create politics in your system. Okay, somebody is doing good. I will attract him so that he's in my pocket, so that I can bend the leg of the management by keeping these people in. That is politics. You create more leaders. You become a guru to them. You should not put people in your pocket and just bend the management just because you have some people with you. That is politics. Leadership is not that. Leadership is encouraging other people to also become leaders, and you also coach them and align with the management's objectives. Again, people ask sometimes, sir, if the management is not cooperating, quit. See, after trying your level best, if you find this is not the organization for me, you have always doors open for you. There is another world out of the system. You can, but that you will do only when you are competent to do that. Why you don't do? Because you have doubt. When you go out of the system, will you be accepted in another system? Because you lack competency. You lack courage. That is why. That is where the leadership is different. Leaders, they don't care because they know that if X reject, I will be absorbed by Y. Even today, one of my students was talking to me from Dubai. You know what he said? Sir, I have a good news for you. I thought that he might have got some promotion. He said, I have resigned from a present job. I said, man, you are telling it's a good news. He said, yes, sir, because last 3, 4, 5 years I work for this organization and I find there is no more way for me to grow. Grow. So I just resigned. I said, you will be jobless. He said, no, I have confidence that another 10 organizations will absorb me and I will get growth. That is leadership. That is called a leadership. He has courage, he has got competency, and he has got that boldness to quit, not simply sitting in that organization and creating politics and creating, trying to pull that organization down or make it fail. No, that is damager. Damagers do that. So you have to have courage, conviction, and commitment. You have to create more leaders. If you are a leader, your subordinates, you should support them. You should, encourage them, and you should educate them to become more leaders. Don't try to pocket them and then leverage with the management. That is called the politics. Politics will not make leaders. That is in civil, not in safety. So, leadership starts with what you stand for. What you stand for. Do you stand for safety? Do you stand for just payment, that you get some money, that's enough? Do you stand for sacrificing yourself? Or do you stand for buttering the management? Make a bold decision. Be clear by yourself. When I tell all this, so some people may be pinching for them, but that is what we expect. We want a change from this program. We just want to change the people's attitude to create future leaders, and those leaders to be the performance leaders, the perfect leaders. So what is the future safety leaders growth path? Number one is personal qualities. You have to be a self-leader first. I always tell punctuality discipline. The first and foremost quality of a leader is punctuality. In my 33 years career, it is a record. I have never been late to any program. I am very confidently telling you, I have never been late to any meeting, because in my first engagement itself, my boss, my leader told me, Mr. Anil, the first quality in a safety professional is before time. You have to be before time. If time is given 9 o'clock, meeting means for safety person minus 30 minutes. You have to be there 8:30. He told one simple example. If you look at the highway, there are many people riding bike without helmet. Nobody notice. Hundreds of people. Today in India, that's not the situation because there is a lot of enforcement. But before, I am talking about 20 years back. 20 years back, if you look at India's roads, you will find many people, almost 90% people riding two-wheelers without helmet. Nobody noticed. But if two policemen in the uniform, they ride without helmet, that becomes a news. After social media intervention in the 2000 to 2010 or something like that, it has made more complex because they are the law enforcers. They are breaking, it becomes a news. The same thing. We safety professionals, we are the law enforcers. And if we are late, we are not following the rules, it becomes, a news. So personal qualities. First and foremost quality in a leader is punctuality. If there is a meeting today, time given to me was 8:30. I was switched on. Some of you have joined at 8. I have seen some of you joined by 8:17, 8:16 after me. I joined at 8:15 and nobody was there. I could have come 5 minutes late also. Nobody would ask me, but that is my morality. That being the conductor of this program, being a safety professional from the core of my heart, I can never be late. I came 8:15 and I was silently sitting and I could see some people 8:17, 8:20 joining. Punctuality, very important. So become a self-leader first. Time management. Integrity and honesty is very, very important to become a leader. Integrity and honesty. This is the first quality which will be judged by your management. You should be integrity. You should show integrity to your organization and you should be honest. Don't create politics in your organization. Politics will not take you anywhere. If you are creating politics, means you are weak. Just because you are weak, you are creating politics. You want somebody's support because you are not competent. So you take competent people's support and flex the muscle with the management that if you do something to me, I will take all these people. Competent management will, hey, come on here, just leave it. They will not mind it. So have integrity and honesty. If you are performing as a leader, perform it to the core of the heart. If you don't like it, just say goodbye. That is the quality of leaders, self-leadership. Accountability. If you have done a mistake, accept it. Accept it. There is no way of covering it. And the poorest thing is putting it on somebody else. The worst quality of leadership in a person is putting the blame on others and taking the credit for success. This is a poor leadership quality. If I'm a leader, if a member of my team has done some mistake, I will take the responsibility for that. It's my mistake. It's not their mistake. I will not put them forward. I will take that. But if there was a success, I will give the credit to my team. I will not take that success. I'm just telling example. And I do this. I do this. That's why I'm perfectly telling you. That's why my people don't like to leave me. Accountability for actions. Very important. passion for safety. If you want to become a safety leader, you have to have a passion. See, this is we all say safety is a thankless job. Why it is a thankless job? You are telling something to a person to save his own life, he will not like you. You are telling so many things to the management to save them and the organization, they may take it wrong. It's a thankless job. So still, if I can survive in this field for 33 years, because it has become my passion. And I tell in many of the meetings, why I took it as a passion is, just before entering this field, I lost one of my closest relatives in an accident, avoidable accident, when I was just 19 years old. That shock is still haunting me. Being a 19 years old boy, when you lose the closest family member from an avoidable accident, how life turns topsy-turvy, I have experienced myself. That is why I take it as a passion. I know I'm not going to save somebody someday, even though I've done so many of firefighting, rescue operations in my life. Live firefighting I have done, live rescue I have done. I have saved people live from in my hands, which hardly any safety people will get the chance. But still I'm telling, I'm still surviving is because of my passion. I'm not thinking what I'm getting. If I take a training, what I'm getting or what I'm doing, it's just a passion. Of course, money is required for survival, definitely. Nothing is free of cost. But at the same time, do it with passion. Passion for safety. If you have a passion, how I take myself comfortable is, I know that whatever I am doing is saving somebody's life. I don't know whose life. When I have done my job, when I have completed my duty perfectly, before I go to sleep, I convince myself, dude, whatever you have done today, you have done with utmost conviction, you have done with utmost sincerity, is going to save somebody's life. Whose life, I don't know, but I have done it. So no shortcut. I have never taken shortcut in this profession in my life. If there is an inspection, I will do it and I will sign it. I have never done a tabletop inspection in my life. Even my colleagues used to ask, daily to yahi dekhte hain, we are seeing same thing. Why every day you want to take the vehicle and go in the freezing cold? I used to do runway inspection in a -4 degree, 5 degree temperature in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock. But I do it. I have never missed even a single chance of inspection and signed it on table. That is passion. Self-discipline. This is something we all know, but we don't follow. We have hundreds of excuses to say we are late. But if you are before time, that is self-discipline. We have to follow rules and regulations. You all know that. So if you can't lead yourself, you cannot lead others. You cannot be a leader throughout your life. You will be either a worker or a manager or a damager. Becoming a leader is something great. Second thing, team leadership skills. Making a team and leading them, that's very important. How to make a team? If you do everything, okay, I am passionate, I am competent, so let me do everything. That's wrong. You have to build up a team and you have to see that the team is doing it and you have to just oversee it. For that, you need to be an effective communicator. Most of the leaders I have seen, they have become leaders because of communication skill. If you cannot communicate, you can never become a leader. So the art of communication is very important. Why you don't communicate? Because you are incompetent. If I'm boldly communicating with you, because I have since today morning, I have been preparing for this session. It's not that, oh, I have 33 years experience, people coming in front of me, maybe junior to me, so I can do nothing. Morning, almost 9 o'clock to evening 4 o'clock, I was preparing for this session. If you have any doubt, Go to YouTube, go to Safety Catch. There was a similar webinar conducted earlier, Health and Safety Leadership Webinar conducted, I think, 2 years back, if I am not wrong, 2023. You will see what changes I have made to that. I could have easily repeated what I have done, but that's not my way of working. That's not leadership. You have to innovate and out-innovate your competitors. That is what Steve Jobs has done. That is why Apple is Apple. You have something in you and you just brush it to others. That is not the way leaders do. You have to be committed. You have to do some hard work and deliver. I don't have any hesitation to tell you that I was preparing the whole day for this session. That's why the proof also I am giving you. Communication, empathy and emotional intelligence. Empathy is very much required. You have to understand others' feelings. You have to understand as a leader others' requirements. At the same time, emotional intelligence. Do nothing against the organization. People will come and tell you so many things. They have problems, they have feelings, but you are a leader. You should support the organization. You should not get into the trap of losing your emotional intelligence. Every employee will have their own self problems. Every juniors of you will have their own family issues. They will have their own problems. But you have to be truthful to the organization which is paying you. You should not lose your emotional intelligence. Then you cannot be a leader if you just support somebody just because they have convinced you that they are suffering or they have some problem. Okay, help them, not at the cost of the organization. Organization is paramount, which is paying you. You cannot just support someone just because out of emotional attachment by simply creating a problem for your organization. So emotional intelligence, when you are a leader, when you are in a position, many people will attract to you. They will come to you. You are a leader. You are a manager. For example, you are appointed as a manager. There will be so many subordinates like to attract to you. They will try to skew you to their own personal benefits. That is where this have empathy. I don't say you should not have empathy. You should have empathy, but at the same time, maintain emotional intelligence that nobody is above the organization. If they have problem, we will sort it out. If you support just one person, all the other people will get demotivated. Suppose you are a leader, you are a manager, under you there are 20 officers, 20 safety officers working under you. Just because one safety officer is a good performer and they have some issue, if you start supporting that person, all the other 19 people will get demotivated. You understand? I hope you understand. All are equal to us. For a manager, he should not lose emotional intelligence. For a leader, should not lose emotional intelligence. We should always be in a level playing field. We should work in a level playing field. Everybody, if 20 people are working under me, all 20 are equal for me because they are all working for the objective of the organization. That is leadership skill. Ability to influence safe behaviors. We all say, management is not accepting my recommendation. Why? Because maybe you are not substantiating your recommendations. How many of you think yourself? You are putting a recommendation. How many of you can substantiate that by quoting the law, by quoting ILO convention recommendation? When I was doing an audit in Saudi Arabia, the first thing I told them, I want Saudi labor law. So they asked me why. I said, see, you are calling me for an audit. Unless I get a copy of Saudi labor law, how can I audit your legal requirements? The first thing I went through the Saudi Labor Act. then ILO conventions and recommendations. And for each and every recommendation, NCR, for each and every NCR, I put evidence, and for each and every recommendation, I have referred to standards, conventions, and rules, whether it is a Saudi Labor Act or ILO convention recommendation or OSHA or BS, British Standards, BSEN. If you lack, you tell this is required, that is required, management will not accept. You substantiate it with legal requirements or any other requirement. Are you able to put that? You may tell, I need a guard for this machine. Under that, can you tell ILO code of practice for machinery safety? If you are not familiar, all of you can Google. There is a ILO code of practice for machinery safety. If you Google, you will get free of cost PDF. Can you refer that? Then your management will accept. So you are a safety manager, you are not authority. The main problem faced by safety leaders, they are not able to convince the top management because they are not able to substantiate their recommendations with relation to rules, regulations, conventions, recommendations, code of practices, or standards. Ability to influence, conflict resolution. You have to be a leader. You have to be a manager. You should not be a damager, taking anti-advantage of conflicts. You have to have resolution. You should be a sandwich. See, when you are a manager, your position is like a sandwich. Above you is the management. Management will have a lot of pressure. They will have a lot of, just don't think every management as a villain. There is a general, the concept in some of the countries that business people are villains. You have to consider that they are putting energy, they are putting money, they are taking a lot of risk. So if you consider them as villains, then why are you working with them? So your top is management. You must have acceptance to the management that management also has a lot of pressure, financial pressure, political pressure, regional pressure, human resource pressure. And at the bottom is your employees. So you are a sandwich. So you have to find resolution to the conflict. You should not be another person taking anti-advantage of this conflict. 99% of workers will have problems against management because management cannot satisfy any employee 100%. It is but natural because there will be need. Once you satisfy the need, it goes to the greed. There is a thin line between a need and a greed. This is a natural phenomena. Even you, as a leader, you see your employees will come and ask you certain things. You will provide. They will keep asking more things. That demand will never end. It's a human psychology. First is needs. That is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Some of you MBA students may have studied that. There is no end to this. First is needs. You satisfy the needs, then they start greeds. Never satisfied. You cannot satisfy any person by giving increment or giving money. Because the more money you get, the more needs. That is a natural. Why Adani and Ambani still working round the clock? Even if they take retirement, they can live for, I think their three ancestors, next generation can live that much wealth, but still they are working round the clock. Money never satisfies anybody. Money is not at all a satisfaction. It's a hygiene factor. It's not a motivating factor. I think CSP people preparing for CSP, you know what is the difference between hygiene factor and motivating factor. So leadership is about inspiring people. You be a role model. You behave in such a way that your people get inspired, not instructing. That is the job of management. The job of management is to instruct people. The role of leader is to inspire people. But what happens if the manager is not able to instruct? Then leader has to start instruct. Then that inspiration goes. In some organization, this is the problem. If manager is not competent, that instruction will not go. Then leader has to provide the instruction. So that thin line will be broken. Then comes organizational leadership, driving a culture. We all talk about safety culture, safety culture. You cannot achieve a culture unless you have a vision. Vision is very important. Vision for safety excellence. As a leader, what is your vision for 2030? What is your vision for 2035? That is very important. It's not that today you are coming at 9 o'clock, you are working till 5 o'clock, you have done some all things sign. You are not a leader. You should have a vision, strategic thinking, risk-based approach. You should be bold enough to take decisions. If you think everybody should like me, you are not a leader. If you have 20 subordinates and all the 20 people like you, means you are not a leader. You cannot be a leader like that. Because there will be some decisions which you take will pinch some people. They may be against you, but time will prove them that you are right and they were wrong. You have to have that courage to take the decision. You have to take that risk-based approach. If you are afraid of breaking comfort zone, you are not a leader. If you think I am comfortable in this chair, I am comfortable in this fan, this room, I can just come and do some duty and I just simply waste some time and I will get my payment. Okay, that is comfort zone. You cannot become a leader. If your subordinates also in that comfort zone, they cannot also grow. You have to break their comfort zone. I have learned a lesson from National Geographic Channel. If you go to National Geographic Channel and search for eagle nesting, you will see some story. You know what is the story? That day I understood what is comfort zone. They have shown a documentary. Eagle, you all know eagle. Eagle is considered to be a bigger bird with high self-esteem, because you will see always eagle fly always on the top. Eagle never fly like a crow or a hen. It's always flying at the top and it has got its personal self-esteem. It's a very self-esteem and it hunts very sharply. You will see that eagle diving in flash of a second and attacking a snake on the ground. Precision. And these eagles, they always create nest on the highest point, whether it is a mountain or a tree. They will not create a nest at the lower level. They always create nest at the highest level. If it's a tree, they will take the top branch of the tree. If it's a mountain, they go to the topmost peak of the mountain and they create the nest. You know how they create the nest? It's engineering. First, they bring thorns. You know, there are so many plants which have sharp thorns. They break that and bring, and they build a nest of thorns because that gives foundation. You know, when the thorns get interlocked, it becomes very solid foundation. Then they bring leaves, maybe fresh leaves or dry leaves. So they make like a leaves, a bed of leaves. Then they bring flowers, soft flowers and tissues. Then they bring this soft, what do you call this? The flying thing, you know, I just don't remember the name immediately, but there are certain flowers which fly, like we say, you know, in our childhood, we also, those things like cotton, for example. And they make a very beautiful and comfortable bed. Why? They are going to lay the egg and they are going to nurture the next generation. And after that, the lady eagle will set and she will put the eggs. And she will nurture them for, I think, I just forgot, 45 days or something like that. So the male eagle will be feeding her because she's, you know, like hatching the egg. And once the egg is hatched, the siblings come out. Now this lady eagle also will hunt and bring the food and give to these siblings. After around 1 month or 2 months, when the lady eagle feel that my children should now learn about to fly, as long as they are in the comfort zone, they are not going to learn flying. So what the lady eagle will do, first take out all these comfortable mattress. First, she will pick and throw. So these kids, maybe 4 or 5 siblings, they will struggle. Next, all the flowers will be taken out. After 1 week, all the leaves will be taken out. Now, all the siblings, they feel the pinch of the thorns. So because they are not able to keep their tender legs on the thorns, they jump out of the nest and they start flying. That is the duty of leaders. If you are a leader, break the comfort zone and let them fly by their own. Let them do wonders. They will not do wonders. And out of that 4 or 5 siblings, 3 or 4 may fly. 1 or 2 weak people will come down and die. That is their destiny. Because they are weak. They are only feeling comfort zone. They don't want to fly. If you don't want to take that risk of flying, you just lay down, you just drop down, and your destiny is over. So those people are successful people who break the comfort zone and they are ready to fly. They will fly. You have to just create some opportunity for that. Crisis. Definitely when you are a leader, you will face so much of crisis. You will come under pressure. You will be pressurized by your subordinates. You will be pressurized by the entire team, but you will not buy in because you are a leader. Crisis leadership. Alcoa, I will be showing you a gentleman, Paul O'Neill. He has rightly said, the first thing a leader should do is to create a crisis. Because if you don't create a crisis, you are also enjoying the comfort zone. Which means you don't want to disturb others. You are thinking what they will think. Will somebody resign and go, oh, if he resigned, then how it will happen? Arey, it's all going in hunky-dory. Why should I disturb the system? Somebody will resign, so my system will disturb. That duty will come to me. All these are out of question for a leader. Leaders create crisis. All organizations have grown only out of crisis. If you are not able to sustain that crisis, that pressure, you are not at all a leader. You cannot bring growth to the organization. Creating a positive, resilient safety culture. You have to. That should be our aim as safety leaders. True leaders embed safety in the DNA of the organization. That's what is expected from each safety leaders, right? So I just told you I will introduce this person. Some of you, my students of IDIP, you might already know him, Paul O'Neill. For all others, please note down this name. Just Google or go to YouTube. You will see the story. He is one gentleman. He is no more. He left this world, I think, some years back, but still I am discussing him. You people are hearing about him. That is called life of legacy. We all are human beings. All human beings take birth. Once we are born, we will die. Definitely, that is truth. But are we leaving some mark in this world that people will discuss about us even after we die? We call it creating a legacy. So if you want to create a legacy, be like Paul O'Neill. He is an epitome of safety leadership. There are n number of case studies available in YouTube. Please go through that. He is the person who told that creating a crisis is part of leadership. If you are in a comfort zone, you are not at all a leader. You are not fit to be a leader. Right. So this course, just introducing finally the program which I am going to deliver. I myself will be delivering this program because I want to develop future leaders. It's my passion. I want to create a legacy that people should remember me, maybe at least for quite some time. So I am extremely passionate to create good safety leaders. So I have chosen this program, HSE Leadership, from Nebosh and HSE, because certification is also should be valuable. What you are going to learn: the business benefits of health and safety leadership, moral, legal, social arguments, the effect of good health and safety leadership of safety culture, human failures, what are the classification types, HSE make it happen model, decision-making process, including mental shortcuts and perception biases. This perception bias is very important. Perception bias. It's a very, very interesting topic. Almost 99% of human beings are under perception bias. That is why you are not able to become a leader. If you overcome this perception bias, you definitely become a leader. You will become a courageous leader. This perception bias is something which is breaking our leadership quality. This you must understand. Leadership styles, transformational, transactional, so many leadership styles are there. We'll be discussing that. Leadership values and relations. Some of the people who studied IDIP with us may be thinking these are all the things we already covered. I will be covering more than that. You might have seen that I have a habit of covering beyond the syllabus. Yes, I agree that in IDIP, some of these I have covered, but I'll take you to the next level of this. Nebosh has very interestingly designed a syllabus. I'm really appreciating that. They have created some key leadership values on which this entire course will be stamped on. Number one, building and promoting a shared health and safety vision. Second one, being considerate and responsive. Providing support and recognition. Promoting fairness and trust in relationship with others, whether it is with the management or with the, if you are only creating trust and relationship with your subordinates, you are a damager. You should always create trust and relationship, similar relationship with your management also. So trust and relationship is required with the management as well as the employees. Then you become a manager. Otherwise, you are simply called as a damager. You will play politics. That's not at all going to help any organization in any way. So understand that. Fairness and trust in relation with the management and the employees. We have to be a sandwich. We have to be a balance. Encouraging improvement, innovation, and learning. That's what I am doing. Always encouraging people to learn, to undergo courses and programs by involvement, in which we will imbibe two pillars. You can see A and B are pillars. What are the pillars? Involvement and communication. How to involve? How to involve employees, top management? How to communicate? There are different ways to communicate. Communication is again an art. It's a skill you need to develop. It doesn't come naturally. So there are certain key techniques for that. How to communicate with management? When you are talking to the management, what should be the body language? What should be the tone? When you are taking a class and when you are talking to your subordinates, there will be difference of tones and languages. That is the pillar strength of a leader. Then effective role modeling. That's very important. Role modeling. Walk your talk. If you have taken a decision, stand with that. There will be pressure. The whole world will attack you to change the decision, but you will not do it because you have taken the decision after doing a lot of calculations, SWOT analysis, discussions. And just because somebody is frightening you, you should not come back. Once you come back, you are the scapegoat. They will attack you like anything. So that is leadership quality. The decision taken is taken. Whatever come, I'll stand with that. Come on. So if you look at the syllabus, you will see it is divided into 3 elements: the foundations of health and safety leadership, human failure and decision making, and leadership. So overall, it's a 1-day program, but I will keep it as a 2-day program because I want to include so many other aspects. I will go beyond the Nebosh syllabus. And some of you may be asking, what about the exam? Joining any course, everybody asks examination. Examination is just building and promoting, you will be assessed on the 5 values, the values which we have discussed just now, these 5 values. It's nothing like an examination, open book, closed book, nothing. During the class itself, we will give you some activity. Once I complete one value, I clear this concept, I'll give you a task. And you will take 10 minutes to do it. And you will submit. That is assessment. There is nothing like 2 weeks assessment like IDIP or IGC, nothing like that. I complete one value, give you a task, something like this. What is a task? A simple task. See, topic is set long-term health and safety goals and strategy. So I will ask you, what is your present scenario? What you are doing now for this? And after attending my program, what do you think you need to do future? This is one question. And you are doing it during the training, but without help. No help, sorry. You will be doing it. So like this, 5 tasks will be there. Even I don't call it assessment, I will call it task. That's all. So it's all your experience. We just want to know, before attending this program, what was your thought process, and after attending this program, what improvement has come in your thought process. Okay. Pareto analysis, I always cover this. All leaders must understand that 80% of the problems are because of 20% issues. If you identify this 20% issue and remove it, 80% of the problem will be solved. This is, every leader should understand that. If you have 20 employees, all 20 employees will not create problem for you. Maybe 2 employees will create. You have to identify that and you have to correct them. You have to counsel them. You have to coach them. So it's as simple as that. We'll be discussing deeper into this in the class. So when you think about preventing incidents and fatalities, while no one can guarantee that an organization will never have a serious incident, senior leaders can employ behaviors and practices to set the tone and climate around how vigorously the organization creates and sustains a focus on prevention of exposure to serious hazards. Simple as that. That is where the leaders come into play. If you look at these accidents, if somebody among you doesn't know, please Google, note down. These are the major industrial accidents happened in the history of the universe. And they are all because of leadership failure. Major accidents, major catastrophes happened in this world. I am not telling. Google, you will see these case studies. You yourself will understand they are all because of poor leadership. Leaders can make or break an organization. Please understand. If the leader is strong, if the leader is committed and competent, he can take the organization to success. If the leader is incompetent, meek, coward, not able to communicate, not transparent, just playing politics, you break the organization. Simple as that. If you look into this, all these case studies, you will understand major problem was the leadership crisis, the leadership failures. That is where organizations are looking for excellent safety leaders. And recently, Waldorf University has conducted a survey in 2021 among the safety students. And they found that they asked the question, what traits will make successful leaders? Young generation people, the Generation Z people, Generation X, Y, Z and all, you can see that. So the Generation Z people were asked this question. They said, the most important quality of successful leaders is communication, consistency, accountability, approachability, discipline, and positive attitudes. You can note it down. These are the qualities which they look at you, the new generation, the young generation people, the Generation Z people. They are looking at you for these qualities. So this is the qualities which I am going to focus in my class of HSE leadership. Because this is what is required today. I'm not going to refer to the old books of W. Henrich or Frank Bird or James Reason. I am focusing my leadership class on this latest research topic of Aveta, where people told that to improve workplace safety is our primary concern. Please understand, the survey was taken from future OHS graduates studying in Waldorf University, like our ADIS or Nebosh diploma. They are studying BSc and MSc, occupational safety, and they have told that we want to improve workforce safety. And are you going to be a leaders in front of them? That is the question. Finally, why do we manage safety and health? To go home safely at the end of the working day is a right, not a privilege for every employee who come to us with confidence that you will send them safely to home. With that, I think I cannot take questions in the webinar, but what I can do is, first, I thank each and every one of you having some confidence in my class, spending your valuable time, and I'm showing my WhatsApp number here. If you have any questions, please WhatsApp me. No problem at all. I'm not so busy. I will try to address your questions, but please take this WhatsApp number, all of you. This is my personal WhatsApp number. I am a safety professional like you people, so I don't worry if somebody WhatsApp me and ask a professional question. I would love to address that. I would love to answer to you. And if required, we can have a one-on-one meeting also. If you want to have a one-to-one meeting with me on Google Meet or Zoom, we can arrange that. I'm open for that. I always love to interact with people like you, young people. I'm not that old, by the way, but the future leaders of safety. I'm so passionate to engage with you people. That's why I'm openly telling, simply WhatsApp me your questions, your concerns, or you want a one-on-one meeting with me, just tell me, we will fix it up.